Thought is the creative power or the impelling force which causes the creative power to act. Thinking in a certain way will bring riches to you, but you must not rely upon thought alone, paying no attention to personal action. Those are the words from The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles, first written in 1910, over 100 years ago, and still to this day remains a huge influential book in the New Thought industry. Now, in this chapter, this is called Chapter 11, Acting in a Certain Way. He talks about the importance of action. So today, in this episode, we're talking about action. Welcome to Every Day a New Thought. I'm Thor Chalgren, and every day I bring you a new thought, a new perspective. I am on day 3 of my series on The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Wattles, and I'm talking about Chapter 11. And the reason why this specific chapter is there are many people who talk about this book and cite 4 specific chapters. And in my first 2 episodes in this series, I talked about Chapter 4 and Chapter 7. Today, I'm talking about Chapter 11. Bob Proctor says that if you read chapters 4, 7, 11, and 14, and you do it every single day for 90 days, you will reprogram your mind on the idea of success. So what we're talking about today is acting in a certain way. And this is kind of, up until this point, Wallace Wattles has laid out the foundation for saying thoughts are things that you put your thoughts out into the universe. He calls it the formless substance, and then you get back the thing that you thought about. So basically, your thoughts are powerful. You are creating your reality. That's essentially the gist of Chapter 4. Chapter 7, which I covered yesterday, is all about gratitude. And he talks about the importance of having that grateful mindset no matter what, looking around and being grateful and not dissatisfied with things. But today, he's talking in this chapter about the importance of action. And I'm going to quote him right here and then unpack this quote. He says, "This is the crucial point in the science of getting rich, right here, where thought and personal action must be combined." He says, there are many people who, consciously or unconsciously, set the creative forces in action by the strength and persistence of their desires, but who remain poor because they do not provide for the reception of the thing they want when it comes. By thought, the thing you want is brought to you. By action, you receive it. Think about that. What he's saying is you have to take action. He talks a lot about, in this chapter, about people who sit around and go, oh, it will come to me. He's saying, no, you must act. And in that last part of that quote I read, by action, you receive it. Now, it's interesting because we can think forward and imagine a future that we want, and we place ourselves in that future and go, oh, that's what I want. And we just start to live in that place. And he cautions us against projecting into the future and living in that future. He's saying, and this is a quote here from him, he says, hold the vision of yourself in the right business with the purpose to get into it and the faith that you will get into it and are getting into it. But act in your present business. Use your present business as a means of getting a better one. So what he's saying is, look, if you sit around and daydream all day long about one day my circumstances will be better, one day I'll have that thing I want, that relationship, that health, that wealth, he's saying, no, if you live and in the future, you're not acting in the present. And the present is the only place where you can act. So he says, hold the vision of yourself in the job you want while you act with faith and purpose on the job you have, and you will certainly get the job you want. Key point here is action, and don't live in the future, but focus on where you are now and do the best you can in that job. And so that is actually a little teaser for tomorrow, where I wrap up the series where we talk about Chapter 14. Thank you so much for watching the show today. I hope you enjoyed this. If you are watching this show on YouTube, please hit like if you liked it. If you're watching or listening to the podcast, please subscribe or follow the show on your favorite podcast app. Until tomorrow, thanks for watching.